We've got a massive Tij Iginla update. When will he be back? Well, we've got some news on that on the Locked On Mammoth podcast.
You are Locked On Mammoth, your daily podcast on the Utah Mammoth, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in once again to the Locked On Mammoth podcast. I'm veteran NHL voice Tom Callahan, joined by longtime team analyst Robin Leaño, and together we are the dynamic duo that brings you Locked On Mammoth each and every single day. Thanks for making us your first listen when it comes to the Utah Mammoth. Getting ready, heading into the draft and free agency. We have plenty of things to talk about, but Robin, today we're going to take a look back over our shoulder at the first round pick, because there were two last year, for this Utah Mammoth team in Tij Iginla. Big update on his health. Plus, I want to talk a little bit about the 3v3 community tournament coming up here. I know that you're excited about as well. But you know what? Just first of all, starting with the news on Tij Iginla, just to let everybody know, here's what's going to happen is it looks like he's been going through hip surgery recovery. And he's been doing it at home. Edmonton for him is home. He's been back and forth to Kelowna, where the Rockets were finishing up their season. That's his junior team. And it looks like, Robin, drumroll please, the target for his return will be potentially this summer at rookie development camp. So that is super exciting.
That is extremely exciting. And that made me think, Tom, and I'm taking a look at, like the moment I heard that, I started going to those like cheap, ultra low cost airlines. And I'm like, all right, am I going to make my way up to Salt Lake City for dev camp? I've already been thinking about it as it is, even though I do plan on traveling a lot this summer. So we'll see if I can fit it in. But that's all the excitement I need.
It really is. And dev camp late June, early July, depending on how everything pans out with availability. And of course, based around the draft and free agency, generally it's after the draft. You want your picks there, right? If you can get them there, you want to try to get those kids in, introduce them to the culture as soon as you can. And it's kind of their first taste of what being a Utah Mammoth will be, whoever selected at that 2025 NHL entry draft. So an exciting time. But Robin, to talk about Iginla's recovery, it's been really interesting to see, some of the talk around Iginla, who from the get-go, they love this kid's personality. And what I love is that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His dad, Jarome Iginla, was noted as, one of the hardest workers. He was a great leader, a very skilled player in his time, mostly spent with Calgary. Jarome Iginla is a name that is still spoken with reverence around Flames fans. This is,
Iginla's number is
2.0.
retired over at in the Scotiabank Saddledome. So
right, as it should be, one of the greatest Flames ever. And you know what? He's a guy who, heart and soul, always worked hard, not just skilled, right? A heart and soul guy. And I'm so excited for Tij, who, with the hip surgery, Bill Armstrong has said he's not that concerned about the surgery, about the recovery. Things seem to be going pretty well for him. I think they're doing the right things. He's going through the rehab in Edmonton, as I mentioned, but that doesn't mean that the Utah Mammoth are not in close contact and monitoring everything that's going on. And he's been hungry to get the off-ice stuff too, Robin. He's been asking for the team playbook, the systems, trying to get all that together, trying to learn as much as he can. And I think it's kind of funny that they assigned him homework, I'll call it, because he's still a youngster, right? I could say
right.
that. They're giving him homework, saying, "Here, watch some video. Break some stuff down, learn things while you're there. Make use of your time. If you're not on the ice developing, let's develop off the ice."
And then, of course, you'll probably hear him doing start doing a decent amount of dry land training. A lot of that, there's a lot that goes into the recovery, into that recovery process. But I think it would be no secret to anyone to know how eager he is to get back on the ice and to be able to make it into the NHL.
And let's face it, Utah Mammoth are eager to see him get back on the ice as well. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing, Robin, too. We have to talk about the development plan, because the idea was this year, Iginla would be in junior, play center full time, and then he would they'll see how it goes after a full year of junior hockey. Well, that was derailed by December. So, I mean, he missed over half a year, which is a
Mhm.
lot. So, really, if there were any thoughts of him being able to make the jump to the NHL this year, I think those have all gone by the wayside. We do need to caution folks on that. To me, the smart path is go back to Kelowna for another year, play center, and develop again, and hopefully stay healthy this time, and get through a year with the Rockets.
And then maybe, depending if Kelowna doesn't make it far in their postseason, maybe it's get that contract signed and join Tucson for a Calder Cup run next year.
Sure, we have seen players do that in the past, and it's always valuable. Boy, could you imagine what Iginla could have added this year against Abbotsford? It was a close series against Abbotsford, really, until I mean the middle of Game 3, maybe. Could have gone
Mhm.
either way. Tucson had a great game too, so and that's pie in the sky, right? That's
Right?
ideal. But the other thing too, I just want to caution fans: if you are going out to check out development camp of the summer, and if you do have a chance, I don't see why you wouldn't stop by. Um, I don't know that he's going to be full strength, 100% Tij Iginla.
No.
That's the other thing you've got to know is if it looks like you're like, oh, he's not pushing 100%. Well, he probably not.
Yeah.
He's probably just
He
going to
will
be getting back into the swing of it.
he will likely start to test his limits. You'll probably see a little bit of that. You'll see him start to test those limits because I mean that's the opportunity to do it, right? Because you want to do it because when you're at dev camp, um, you are under the supervision of all the coaches, of all the trainers. Everybody's there to make sure that that the development's going where you should. You're getting all the tips, you're getting all of this, you're getting all that information. So he'll be heavily under supervision. So he will be able to test himself and push himself, but we won't see 100% Tij Iginla.
And hopefully there's no setbacks or anything like that, which could happen. And that's so. I think probably the Utah staff won't want to push him too much
Oh
anyway.
yeah,
But you do want to see what he looks like. How do you feel? Are you comfortable with your stride? Are you comfortable on your edges? Where are you in the recovery? Because really, the goal this summer is nice to have. Prospect camp is nice to have. He'll be there anyway. But the goal is training camp.
right.
That's really our end goal here for the Utah Mammoth is to have the player ready for training camp. And that, you have to keep that goal in mind and don't I just I'm excited, Robin, that he's getting ready to come back, but I just want to caution everybody against getting too excited for, him on the ice in a month or so at what we're a month and a half actually at what we're going to see here. So just but you know what? I'm also saying this to myself. Let's be honest. I'm telling Tom, "Hey man, relax. Don't get too excited about him, getting back on the ice.
I
Not yet."
mean, may like there's that might be a slight chance he could play in a game in the rookie face-off that happens every is it August, right? We're on there
Yeah, late
early
August, early
September.
September. I think it's more early September.
Yeah, rookie face-offs I absolutely love against all the other teams in the southwest part of the Pacific Division, and then a little bit more because well, Utah is kind of their own like they're not Pacific Division, they're Central, but they still join the Pacific teams like Vegas and Anaheim and LA and San Jose.
Isn't it kind of funny, Robin? We talk about it with the AHL West history, and then we talk about it with these teams out here. They just kind of they're their own club, aren't they? They do their own thing.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, California, Vegas, Utah, Seattle gets roped into it now, into the shenanigans. But I kind of like it. It's that little rebellious spirit that exists among these Western teams.
I love it.
It is fun. It is. So, Robin, overall, I mean, your thoughts on Tij Iginla, and I mean, positive update here, right? I mean, this is
Yeah,
huge news for the Mammoth.
it is huge, and I think we've kind of already we've said it, and we just want to reiterate. I feel like we should definitely proceed through this off season still with that cautious optimism and be like, hey, this is good news, but let's take each bit of news regarding his recovery day by day. We want to make sure that when he's ready, we can get you know a 100% Tij Iginla who's ready to make his break in the NHL again. That's gonna take some time. a decent
It
amount of time.
It is, and but we are still excited for it. So, all right, going to talk about this 3v3 community tournament that's coming up. Robin's got the details on that for you, and so we're going to get into that here next in just a moment. Stay tuned. There's more coming your way on Locked On Mammoth. And today's show is brought to you in part by Wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, then crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. You guys know I like my no shells, the grab and go snack. Absolutely love these things. This is the jalapeno lime flavor. But I like to buy the variety packs because it's exactly it. If you're road tripping, if you're at your desk, traveling, whatever it is, it's a great snack on the go. And you just pop it open. I get my protein. And you know what? It is nice. It is filling and it keeps you going for a little while. It's not like, I don't know, sugary snacks. I just, I, I, I like the protein. So I like getting into the Wonderful Pistachios. And look, if you're an in-shell person, they do have that for you. That's only if I'm chilling at night at the house and I like to crack my way through and slow my pace, eat the pistachios. In-shell, classic favorite. But hey, you know what? No shells, grab and go ease. Sign me up. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Tom Callahan, Robin Leano here with you. Hey, if you like what you hear, please give us a follow, a like, a subscribe, whatever it is on the platform of choice. You can get us everywhere you get your podcasts. And for the video version, we are on YouTube. And you can find us everywhere on social media as well at Locked On Mammoth. Feel free to comment on the show. How do you feel about Tij Iginla coming back? I know there's a lot of excitement around that. We have the draft, we have free agency. Robin, there's so much. It's another exciting offseason. Last offseason was exciting for this Mammoth team, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this season is actually more exciting for the Mammoth.
I think you're right, and I think it's it's because we're experiencing now a full off season, right? Without the oh, what are they going to do? What's the team going to be named? Everything like that. Now we have everything settled, so we're able to really invest ourselves in the fun of the draft and the fun of free agency, and with the knowledge of knowing that this team is really getting close to a playoff berth next season. But in addition to that, is you are now after one season, you have so many fans who have shown that they are bought in, so they will be a part of really just showing off their Mammoth fandom even through this entire off season. You guys are all showing that. You fans of this podcast, you are all showing that you are fully invested even in the off season. And I think that's what makes this first season with this off season incredible and really just that much exciting.
I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but this is really the first normal offseason for this franchise in quite some time. Um, like it's like, oh, you're a real boy now, Pinocchio. You're a real franchise now, Utah. You've got a name. You've got an off season with no craziness. You're not trying to hurry up and pack and move. Uh, it just it feels like a real NHL offseason, and that's kind of nice. Um, to have questions answered that have
Yeah.
dogged this really locker room for a while as far as the off the ice stuff, have all the
And
circus settling down.
I will say too, we will soon be able to start kind of not rely on Arizona stats because and that's a reminder to everybody. The Arizona Coyotes are considered a whole separate franchise
Correct.
from the Utah Mammoth, right? That none of the history comes, but we've been using the history because, well, I mean, it is the same squad, just different, different owners, different everything. Um,
And Robin, that might be
but
worth kind of reiterating for folks who are new. Let's explain that real quick. We don't have to go off the rails, but let's explain real quick how that whole transfer process happened. What did come and what did not come along.
Yeah, so the essentially what did come was just the entire hockey operations staff. So from general manager down through the coaching staff and all the players, all of those people, they went over. and eventually some front office people like media relations, Jeffrey Sanders, who did media relations for the Arizona Coyotes in the last couple of years, ended up making making the transition over to Utah, and a few other people out there who like Matthew McConnell doing play-by-play on TV. He made the jump on over there. But
Tyson Nash.
Tyson Nash did for Nashcast. He made the jump as well. But what didn't was essentially again the rest of the front office. So all the ticket people, all those like they didn't go on over, as well as just the history of the team. So there's no there's none of the history of what the Coyotes or Jets 1.0 was. None of that carries over. So it's a whole new record book. But again, I think the point to be made is we were using that as reference just because we had in season 1 we had nothing to reference. Now going into season 2, we do have a reference. Now we'll probably still put in. I mean, you're going to hear on the show make a lot of Arizona references just because everyone knows that I covered the Arizona Coyotes for over like 8 years almost. So I know a lot of these same players. I've been doing that. And Tom, you spent some time with the Coyotes organization as the play-by-play for the Roadrunners. So it's like we're still make the references, but we no longer have to rely on the Arizona past anymore. And we're more towards, hey, this is what they did last year actually in Utah.
Right. Absolutely. All right, Robin, let's talk about this 3v3 community tournament that's coming up. You've got the details on this. And actually both the Jazz and the Mammoth are doing 3v3 tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, it's going to be in the middle of July, July 12th, what it looks like. And the Jazz doing a 3v3 basketball tournament and the Mammoth doing a 3v3 street hockey tournament. I think the emphasis on street hockey because everyone knows there are 5 million different forms to play hockey. I am, of course, partial to the ice variety, but hey, a street hockey tournament would be really nice, especially in Utah in July. I think that'd be pretty cool to do. But what to focus on the Mammoth side of it, there are going to be a lot of different age groups. I'm looking at it. There's going to be kind of going from like a 10U boys division to a 12 to 18U for boys and girls, as well as an adult division, adult divisions for 17 and up. So there will be an opportunity for if you are an adult hockey player and you want to kind of get in on the fun, you can. And again, it's a little beginner recreational competitive, all the different kinds of levels to be able to play in. It's $200 a team, which is very good. I mean, the only reference I know, Tom, or full squad ice hockey tournaments, which we're talking of can range from anywhere from $1,500 to like $3,000 for a single team. So it's really cool to see. Like I love that they're doing this, by the way. As and trying to find all this on there, but it's going to go out there to kind of like support youth hockey and just youth programs as well as a bunch of other things, which I think is awesome.
So, Robin, if folks are interested and want to sign up, and you know what, maybe we should put the link also in our description here to get that link in there for you. But if you're just listening and you want to write it down, where do they go?
Yeah, so you can go to utahmammothyouth.com/street-hockey/3v3.
Okay. So if you need to rewind that and play it again, feel free. Yeah, great. That's the 3v3 tournament coming up here, and looking forward to that. Will there be a team locked on in both of those tournaments? I don't know.
Ooh, Tom and I going over there making some noise. I feel like, and you know what? We got to convince David Locke to join us then.
Oh my goodness. I would love to see David Locke pick up a hockey stick. That'd be amazing. I'll tell you what, I stink at basketball, but I'll play the basketball tournament if he'll play the hockey tournament. That would be fun.
There we go.
So that yeah, we would get smoked and it would be all my fault. I'm terrible at basketball. But that's okay. At least I own it.
I mean, so am I. If anyone who has been like a friend of mine and watched me try to play pick up basketball when I was in college, yeah, I can't do that. That's why I
Yeah.
play hockey, because I'm better at that.
Yeah, I don't do well in non-contact sports, so that's all right. Robin, I've actually got a great question for you. Fun little question. We're going to end the show with here in just a moment, and want your opinion as well. So stick around. Let us know what your thoughts will be. I'm going to drop this on you here next. All right, got to get a sip from the giant cup of coffee. Rock on, everybody. Yes, I really do drink probably 2 of those each morning, and then more throughout the day because I don't have a problem with coffee. It's only a problem if there's no coffee. And Robin, I know you feel much the same way.
Yeah, massive coffee addict. It's funny. I had a conversation with my doctor earlier, and they're like, "How many cups of coffee do you think you drink a day?" And I'm like, "Well, I work at a coffee shop during in the early morning, so I probably have about 6 cups of coffee a day." And they're like, "You need to cut back." And I'm like, I know I should, but will I? Probably not."
Everybody says that it's like the one vice I have left is coffee, so I'm going with it.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, I barely drink alcohol anymore. I do every now and then, but
yeah, so yeah, black coffee, that's all I need, and that is from years of being in the miners where we'd roll into a building, there'd always be coffee, but sometimes there's no sweetener,
having
sometimes there's no creamer.
having coffee on tap at Roadrunners games, essentially, I had 5 cups of coffee just through just through that game, those games alone.
And Robin, year 1 was a struggle because it wasn't there. I had to go to the espresso cart at the TCC to go get my hit during the game if I needed to keep it going. So, but man, that was a long time ago. That long time ago in a land far, far away. But so, Robin, I actually wanted to ask you and our listeners and our viewers a fun little question here.
Okay.
So here are the ground rules. Number one, jersey is not an answer. It is not an available answer. But I want to know if you can have only one piece of merch, just one, what do you get?
Ooh,
What is your go-to?
that's a good question, and I think it's a tough one because I feel like there's so many good options, right? Like, there's a lot of cool ones. I've always been someone who kind of nerds off of like novelty stuff, right? Like,
Okay.
because I can get clothes literally anywhere, right? And sometimes they might wear out or whatever. But novelty stuff, like, you can put them on your wall, you can do a lot of fun with it. Um, so that said, oh, this is gonna be interesting to figure out, like, out of those. Like, I I feel like I'm someone who I'm a sucker for like uh like signs or like picture frames,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Having something up, right? Like, let's say it's like for example, like a picture of Delta Center with all the fans out there and a puck from the game that picture was taken. Like,
Oh, okay.
that's inside the frame. Like, something like that, something that's very unique, something that you can show off and be like, "Hey, look at this."
I didn't think you'd go there. But that's pretty good. So now you've got me thinking because my default answer for any team with a logo that I like is a baseball hat. I feel like that's the low hanging fruit. The other thing I like a lot and get a ton of use out of is a good zippy hoodie. It's
Ooh,
got to
okay.
be a zip, full zip, not quarter zip,
That's
full
cool.
zip, or the Peyton Manning. This is more of a half zip. No, it's got to be a full zip hoodie for me. But would I be opposed to a Utah Mammoth coffee mug? Probably not. And let me tell you, I would get use out of that.
There we go. There we go. What if it was shaped what if it was shaped like a tusk?
Oh, that might be tough to drink out of, or easier. I don't know. I would have to see the mug.
Yeah,
Jury's
well,
out. Jury's out.
or a tusk on both sides, so when you drink it.
Ah, that would be amazing if the handle was like this and the tusks were coming out either side of the mug. That would be, and you just drink it every time you tilt your head back. It's literally tusks up. That would be amazing.
That
Oh,
would be
Robin, That would be my piece of merch.
If that existed, 100%. But I will say, if I was limited to clothes only, you kind of made me think about it. I am a sucker for quarter zips.
Okay. Man, now I got to cut down. If I'm picking, because we got to pick one. So we got to pick one. I'm gonna go with a hat, and
Okay.
I'm gonna get specific. It's got to be a hat, and I've kind of gotten used to the unstructured flex fit hats. I really like those the most. So I think that's what I'm going with. Unstructured flex fit um, for a hat.
Okay. There you go. And I'm gonna stick with my my novelty frames.
I love that. I've thought about that neon sign I see on shop.nhl all the time. So
I mean, I have a neon. That's not a team thing, but like I love neon signs. I actually have one. You guys can't see because on this wall, right? But kind of behind my computer. But it was a gift from my younger brother to me, where it's a neon sign that glows green, my favorite color. That's in script says sparkles,
nice.
which
That's
is
awesome.
which for those that have following me long enough and been seeing in the back of my jerseys know that that is my nickname.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, what would you guys go with? I mean, let us know down there in the comments. Track pants, slides. What would you go with? I mean, there's a ton of different things you could come up with here. Um, the window cling for the vehicle. That's another good one. So Robin expanded this. I was thinking clothing when I asked this question, but now we're everywhere with this. So this is
Hmm.
pretty cool. I like it. So definitely let us know what the updates are on that, and happy to talk about Tij Iginla again. Just to reiterate, looking like he's on track. Will be at development camp, and then we'll see how it goes. But the target is training camp, and things are looking positive, so that's huge. And again, we'll put the link to sign up for the 3v3 tournament down there in the description. Robin, where can they find us on socials?
They can find us everywhere on social at Locked On Mammoth, and that's now just about everywhere. At Locked On Mammoth. You can find me personally at Robin_Leano on Twitter.
And I'm at Tom Talks on Blue Sky, at Callahan on Air on Twitter. And thanks for joining us, everybody. We look forward to talking to you once again tomorrow with another great show as the NHL conference finals getting underway. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the World Championships shifting into gear as they approach the medal round and a whole lot more. So stay tuned. And thanks as always for being a part of Locked On Mammoth.